right. So once again, I'm live coming in. What's up, Chak?
Yo, peace. What's the word?
Not much, man. They say it's Juneteenth, man.
Man.
They say, man, I'm just reporting on it. I mean, I ain't reporting on it too much but actually, you know what? It do come out. They say it come out of Galveston, Texas. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Go ahead and talk about it. Wait, I mean, it's kind of funny that they bring this up right now, but
You say it's kind of funny bringing it up. What you mean?
I mean they made it a federal holiday, but at the same time, it's been state recognized in Texas since a long time. So I mean, I don't.
Right.
Kind of funny when you think about
it. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, look here, man. This is the cost of, you know what I mean? I want to be what they call it, all inclusive.
Well, you know what?
All inclusive, baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm back in the saddle in Richmond, Virginia. I've been in and out of here, I've been moving around, but when you come home and you're at home for a couple of days, something always happens, doesn't it?
Richmond, where police responded to a shooting call at around 2:30 here in the 1200 block of Westover Hills Boulevard. This is a look at the scene. This is just south of the intersection with Forest Hill Avenue. We're still waiting for more information from police, but of course we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store.
Hey, Julie, here we are an hour later. The shots rang out about just before 10 o'clock tonight, and there's still an active crime scene here in the 1600 block of Rosecrest. That is the Hillside Court community on Richmond's south side. What I do know from my sources, they tell me an adult male was shot in the upper body. The extent of his injuries unknown, but he was taken by ambulance to VCU Medical Center where he is being treated for.
Now, I'm going to have to call my homeboy on that one because he actually lives over there. So I'm going to call him for some information on this. It was on Roadcrest, it's on the same street. So, yeah, that's it. And that he called the community is actually called the as a quote unquote they would call the projects actually. And as a matter of fact, that's why I told you when I was riding through, you smell that big smell from that goddamn waterways plant. As a matter of fact, that's exactly like that's on a street called Commerce. The street called Commerce Road is right behind it. And they got like a warehouse, they got an auction place called Deepwater Terminal, not too far from there, where you go to car auctions and stuff like that. So actually, that is actually like where all them warehouses and waterways plant treatment. Matter of fact, they got the whole railroad. They doing some business back there. They done blocked off the road for like the last 6 months or whatever, maybe a year, even more. So there's a lot of stuff going on around there. But yeah, there's somebody. I told you this guy always be reporting on the thing or whatever. His name John Burkett, but every time I'm shooting, somehow this guy always there, but let's just continue.
For those injuries, I'll step it away right now real quick. You can see that detectives from Major Crimes Division and patrol officers are still here on scene trying to figure things out. It's about halfway down the block on Rosecrest. There's plenty of shell casings down there. I've seen some evidence markers. So they're trying to figure out exactly what happened here this evening right before 10 o'clock. Obviously, if someone out there knows something, they can call the tip line at 804-780-1000, or they can text a tip using the P3 app. Reporting live.
So this is what goes on around here. I mean, this junk been like that for decades, man, and shit like that. I mean, my mom would even tell me not to go down there. My homeboy lived down there, so I always went down there and pick him up. Sometimes I even hang out at the house, right? But she would always tell me not to go down there. But I mean, your boy live down there, you go down there. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, I mean, this been going on here for 25, 30 years. This ain't nothing new. So, I mean, unfortunately. But it's getting hot. It was 93 degrees yesterday. These are the activities you're going to start hearing more. Even though it's been going on since March. I don't tell you about this shit been going on since March around this motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck is going on. but I mean, that's what you're getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I seen one of the biggest girl fights around this motherfucker one time too back in the
The girl fight?
day. Yeah. Brooke Valentine is about to be a girl fight. Yeah, man, I've seen some wild shit around this motherfucker. But definitely need to be talked about. But yes, this is these are the projects as they call it, right? So it is what it is, man.
Oh shit! Hold on. Oh shit!
What happened?
Trying to get back to where we screen where we just on my phone. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Oh shoot! No, I'm just trying to get back to your screen. I don't know what the heck that was at. Is that? Oh, shoot. Mm. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm here.
No, I was trying to get back to the screen so I can mute the mic, man. On the background. Trying to see where the heck is that? Where is it at? No, I'm good. You good?
No, you good, man? Shit, I'm just.
Let's see.
Now we got to go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Maybe where's the golf cart?
More arrests expected in a major cockfighting ring in Blount County that we first told you about Monday. Federal investigators call it a major bust with illegal aliens, cash, and birds fighting to the death. Let's get you involved in the conversation. We want to know, does Alabama need stricter cockfighting laws? Scan the QR code on your screen to answer or go to abc3340.com. Here's the I-Team, Cynthia Gould.
A weekend raid, 60 arrested, 55 of those illegal aliens who are now headed for deportation, according to Homeland Security. This came after monitoring the operation for months with evidence of gambling, drugs, and guns.
This was up in the woods. It was a significant operation. It took 6 of our special response teams, or SWAT teams, to go in, and 2 helicopters.
That included a multi-agency team, according to Stephen Schrank, special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations for Alabama and Georgia. Cockfighting is illegal across the United States, but estimates are millions of birds are bred and trained to fight.
And we're talking about slow, brutal deaths, correct?
Absolutely. There were over 250 birds at this location, and they had every interest of getting them into the ring and fighting them to the death.
Homeland Security targeting the so-called cluster crimes that go along with the blood sport, bringing in big profits. $140,000 cash was seized in this raid.
We are looking at transnational criminal organizations that operate in a variety of different crimes: narcotics trafficking, money laundering, any type of cartel-based activity, human smuggling, human trafficking.
The leader of a national animal advocate group calls Alabama the cockfighting capital of the Southeast.
And it's all for the bloodletting and for human amusement.
Wayne Pacelli explains state law hasn't been upgraded since 1896.
It's the weakest law in the nation. It provides a maximum penalty of $50 fine. So it's like a parking ticket.
Pacelli's organization is pushing the FIGHT Act in Congress, sponsored by 2 Republican lawmakers and supported by 800 agencies, including the National Sheriff's Association.
So just putting this out there for your benefit, Shaq. Definitely, of course. That goes to show you that on Juneteenth, black folks ain't the only one to do dog fighting in honor of Michael Vick. Right? That's what you told me. They don't do it. Look. It's called Sport and Play, man.
You see, it's called Sport and Play. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
All right, this was a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Allen Iverson, Hampton native. Actually, tell you the truth, I just was down there about a month ago. He had 50th birthday party. People text me about it, couldn't go. They said some people say the section was $500, but they had what's the guy named? Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford. That's him and Allen Iverson right now. And obviously they got a little Boosie there as well. I think Allen Iverson actually, I wasn't showing him for that particular purpose. I do think he got a trust deal with Reebok when he turned 50 where he can get some money or something like that. I forgot, I think it is that. He got a big time trust deal with Reebok. I think he's able to cash out on it now, I think.
Download the Kayak app to search and compare prices on flights, cars, and hotels from hundreds of travel sites. Then do what people do.
Welcome back to the Forward Coach, and today we're talking about NBA legend Allen Iverson and how his relationship with Reebok will keep him rich forever. Now here's what's going on. After being drafted as the #1 overall pick in the 1996 NBA draft, Iverson signed his first contract with Reebok worth $50 million over 10 years, making him $5 million per year. But that's not the end of the story. After winning the NBA MVP award, Reebok saw the potential in Iverson and wanted him to be the face of the brand forever. So they cut a new deal with the future Hall of Famer. This new deal with Reebok would pay Iverson $800,000 per year for the rest of his life, and he would continue earning $5 to $10 million per year for the remainder of his professional career. But the most important part of the deal was the trust fund that Reebok set aside for Iverson. They put $32 million in a trust fund for him to inherit on his 55th birthday, which was 29 years in the future at that point. This lifetime contract with Reebok saved Iverson from having any financial struggles. Throughout his career, Iverson was known for balling and having the time of his life. But with this contract, he was able to secure his future. The trust fund part of the contract was extremely important, and Reebok knew it. This is just another example of how Reebok valued his partnership with Iverson and their commitment to supporting him. Also, this is another example of why having a great management team is imperative to making sure that you can move the culture forward forever.
That's why Allen Iverson trusts and all that. So, you know, Iverson had this big thing going on. Rich.
Think of it as the next generation of hoops showcasing their skills in some cases in front of some former NBA greats and fans. That was the vibe of the 9th edition of the Allen Iverson Classic. You got about 24 or so of the high school players throughout the country, the United States, at Bethel High School. Some star faces, that would be Steven Jackson, a.k.a. Stacks, in the building, former NBA champ. Team Answer in white here with the early defense. That's Javonte Ware, committed to Rutgers, gets the theft and slam. Team Bubba Chuck answering the other end. That would be Colorado commit. Followed Taco Fawaz. And then the namesake in the building by halftime, Iverson, Basketball Hall of Famer himself, who said this space for these players means a lot to him.
And it's just a great feeling for me to be able to, let these kids know that the dream is possible and be right here for them, on their journey. I don't think you can complain too much when you get to do something like this at home. like this is a dream for me. You know, when I thought about all of the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life, I never thought about being able to have a, you know, impact like this.
He's just always been like a big brother, him and Stephon Marbury, and I always appreciated that. I show it every chance I can, and that's something you don't take for granted.
And it was a special treat for one of the players. Kareem Stagg, who's a Georgia commit, is from Chesapeake and is all too familiar about Iverson.
I know my dad played with him, and just seeing how he just, you know, changed the game, especially with his swag, it just, you know, kind of motivated me. Because, you know, he's one of the guys out of 7'5", so just seeing him having that swagger and that.
But it's just some things they had going on recently, last couple months with Iverson. Since he turned 50, I just said, you know what, just show that, you know. But a lot of you guys go down this Allen Iverson camp now. You know, some of my boys played against Allen Iverson in high school. And him, Ron Curry, Michael Vick, Plexico Barris, Aaron Brooks, who I personally met a few times, played basketball with him actually. And this other boy named down in the area, Tyrod Taylor, and of course Dre Bly from Chesapeake, I think. Yeah, a lot of those guys from down that way. So very interesting. But Allen Iverson 50, and one of my buddies last week, he just hit the century mark at 50. What do you think about that, Shaq?
You said I when you turn 50?
He just turned 50 about on June the 7th.
Oh, man. You know what I mean?
Yep, me and him. Matter of fact, Shaq, how tall are you?
Oh, 6 foot and a half, some shit like that.
It don't matter. If you was to come to Virginia and you were sitting across the way from Allen Iverson like I was one time, you probably taller than Allen Iverson. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But they had a big party for him a couple weeks ago. One of my buddies, you know, he told Terrence Crawford, he said, "Look, man, I always talk all that shit about you, but I'm in the same section with you. Can I get a picture with you?" So, you know, it is what it is. He was gonna Bud Crawford, but his name Terrence, I guess, right? But yeah, that's the dude. That's the boxing dude, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. So he was there. I think maybe Steven Jackson might have been there. So what it showed me was to be honest that Allen Iverson had Boosie and them guys there, stuff like that, but it just showed me that Allen Iverson, you know, got a lot of love and respect from a lot of people, obviously, from across the U.S., not just.
So when was his birthday?
June the 7th.
Oh, June the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was born in 1975 in Hampton, Virginia. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, it's not even told, but I think Allen Iverson, it's not told by them, but Allen Iverson actually grew up in a house with raw sewage coming up beneath the floors. So,
wow.
Mm-hmm. But it goes to show you that those are conditions that we've been living in for quite some time. I'm just using that example.
Yeah, and you have sometimes you have a choice to not let that define you. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I always talk, even with my children and shit. I'm always talking about choices. Like, you still have a choice, still. Even though the choices that, you know what I mean, they may not be the other choices that someone else might have, but you still have a choice within that. You know, don't let that define you. You know, you still, you you know, all the stuff that he done fought through, the resilience and to all the persecution, you know what I mean? All the blame and finger pointing, still end up coming out, man.
Yeah, I
Doing
tell
some
you.
things that nobody else had to be able to do. But all
Yes.
that adversity still.
Well, trying to get into some funny shit right now.
Well, hold on before you go, because speaking of Steven Jackson, did he just try to did they get in like a squabble? Did he get in a fight or something with one of his big three teammates or something? On the
I
opposite
think
team or something?
so.
Come on, man. What we doing? Was that a publicity stunt, man?
You know, Steven Jackson actually went to school here too, right? You know that.
Huh?
He went to school here too for a little bit. He went to school in Oak Hill. He went to Oak Hill Academy.
Now, you talking about what, high school or college?
He went to he went to high school here, Oak Hill Academy.
Now, explain this to me. Somebody see, somebody that grew up and was born in Texas, nigga, down in that motherfucker, the third world. Where he was from? He from down there Port Arthur, ain't he?
I don't know, but I don't know where I have to look him up. But why?
Yeah,
You
Port Arthur, Texas.
talking about him playing ball here in Virginia, right? You talking about?
Yeah, unless he got now, like I said, he could have family member and they could have, but he had a troubled past, like I said, like his brother, all that, people know kind of his backstory. Brother was a big game, remember all that, street dude. But yeah, he grew up in Port Arthur. So how did he make it all the way up to Virginia to go to high school? It amazes me how these athletes they get to move around, and that's like you said, that go back to Magic Johnson too. We're using your certain tools to maneuver around in life.
Yeah, you know what? He was born in Houston, Texas. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. Now he did play at Abraham Lincoln in Port Arthur, but he transferred to Oak Hill Academy in Mount Wilson, Virginia. Carmel Anthony played there. I think Brandon Jennings played there. Jeff McGinnis. I can name on. No, there's a lot of motherfuckers play for goddamn.
I mean, I ain't hating. That's a pathway for some of these young athletes to make, like you said, to make their way to the next level of shit. But we know what that is, bro. That's another way of a breeding camp.
Look, check this out. He was a leading scorer in the 1996 McDonald's All-American game. And that team had Kobe Bryant, Jermaine O'Neal, and Tim Thomas. He committed to the University of Arizona, right? But his SAT was low, right? So he went to community college. As a matter of fact, he never even played. He got drafted before the second by the Phoenix Suns in 1997, but he never played. I mean, he played in the CBA, but he was born in Port Arthur, Texas. And and then he was facing academic eligibility at Lincoln. So instead, he transferred to Oak Hill Academy, Virginia. So that means he done came all the way across from that part of the South all the way to Virginia. Ain't that crazy?
Now, see, like I said, now we really want to talk. That's cheating the game, but hey, that's a pathway for these athletes. I ain't saying they ain't the only ones doing it, but that's another way you can cheat. So now you got a whole new eligibility because you done moved out a whole state and it's different little eligibility. That's I mean, it's cheat code, bro. Cheat code.
I'm gonna give you some players that have played for. Matter of fact, one of them just got traded the other day to the Memphis Grizzlies named Cole Anthony. But I'm gonna give you some players that played: Jordan Adams, Corey Alexander, Carmel Anthony, Cole Anthony, William Avery, Dwayne Bacon, Michael Beasley, Alex Blackwell, Steve Blake, University of Maryland, little boy guy. He played Oak Hill. Mark Blunt, Quinn Cook, Ben Davis, Jasanya Job, kind of African guy. Kevin Durant played at Oak Hill. Herb Giles, Steven Jackson, Brandon Jennings, Keldon Johnson. As a matter of fact, I've met him once. I've seen him once, twice. Right? Braxton Key, Don Land, Ty Lawson, Caleb and Cody Mott, Jeff McGinnis, Ben McLemore, Ron Mercer, Rajon Rondo, right?
You
Josh
said
Smith.
McNamara. That's Syracuse, right? McNamara?
No, Ben
Syracuse?
McNamara played. No, he played for Kansas.
Okay,
Josh Smith, Jerry Stackhouse, Rod Strickland, Cameron Thompson, Darius Thornwell, Troy Williams, Marcus Williams. So I done named you about at least 15 people that have played for goddamn this team. So that goes to show
man.
This is a prep
That's
code.
a cheat code. Yeah, it's a cheat code.
Now, I'll tell you where this shit at. This shit is way out in Virginia. I'm gonna even tell you, I ain't even been out there. This shit is like way out in the fucking boomway.
The cheat code.
But I know where it's at. And it ain't nowhere around here, bro. I think it might be up by Tennessee somewhere. I can't remember where it's exactly. Like, I was talking to this guy yesterday. I said, "Oh, you got your son with you?" He like, "Yeah." He was like, "You know, he doesn't live in here anymore. He moved to Blacksburg." I said, "Okay, that's out there, man, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. That's out there by Virginia Tech." So I forgot what this white boy went to school at. It doesn't even matter. But what I'm letting you know is that a lot of people be moving around, and you got to be when you move around like that, you usually in some type of profession like that or something. When you move around like that, or you getting ready to go to some type of profession.
Right,
Like these guys move. I mean, like I told my boy, I move around quite a bit, but not like these guys be in. Like you said, Steve Johnson, he in Texas, then he in Virginia. Next thing he in the NBA for a long time.
I mean, come on, man.
They wanted to ban him from the league too. They wanted to ban him from the league too for that fight down at the Palace too. By the way, they wanted to ban his ass out of the league. Now he like a little puppy dog on all these goddamn podcasts and shit. I'm like, wait the fuck out of here. But let me play this, man. This is some funny shit, man. We love it, man. We love it, man. Love it.
Joining us live, good morning.
Good morning. Hopefully when you're having your breakfast, you just smother it in ketchup like we do over here.
Putting a lot of friendships on the line right
dish
now.
Are you chowing down on this morning?
Yes, it's definitely eggs. Only scrambled though.
Yes.
Like if you do fried eggs with ketchup, it's a little weird.
You're weird.
Scrambled eggs, ketchup on top.
Is a
It's
chef's
beautiful.
kiss, according to you two. We have differing opinions here, but apparently Heinz is really trying to normalize this ketchup on eggs. They're going after our ketchup fans like you guys, saying that they've added some labels. They're calling it breakfast ketchup.
Is it actually different than regular ketchup?
No, it's just the label, and they're only doing it with some partnerships for some diners and Waffle Houses across the country. And they're just trying to remind you, hey, eggs taste a little bit better with some mashed tomato on top.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, it does make sense to me, but I just cannot understand why you would choose ketchup on eggs over all the different kinds of hot sauces that are out there. That is ketchup on eggs is option like 45 on the list.
Well, one in four people are into this, so it makes sense that of us four, 2 out of 4 isn't bad. I don't know, Anthony, where you land. But yeah, hot sauce is good, salsa is good. We'll accept that. All some form of tomato.
Some sippiness.
Where is they getting these statistics? They'd be killing me with the 1 out of 4. Oh, what? I said they'd be killing me with the statistics. 1 out of 4. Bro, how you know 1 out of 4, bro? Like, really? Where they be doing these studies at? I'm curious. Where they be getting their data from? I'm just curious. You know me, I'm always curious. 1 out of 4.
Well, Shaq, this is for anybody with HIV. Gilead has approved a twice-a-year shot. FDA approves life-saving HIV prevention shot. Yes! We finally got it, baby! Yes! Let me shut the fuck up.
Penn Station Rewards. Earn points with purchase and redeem for rewards you crave, like free sub.
Experts believe we may finally have what's needed to end the spread of HIV. The feds just approved a new shot at a time when Atlanta remains a hot spot for new cases. Atlanta News First, Alani Latang is live for us in Atlanta. And Alani, what makes this new drug different from the others?
Well, first, Carly, people don't have to think about it as often. It's twice a year. So that's why public health experts are hoping more people will hop on board.
It would be life-saving, and it's eye-opening.
It's being hailed as the next best thing in the fight against HIV and AIDS. FDA approving the latest HIV prevention drug called lenacapavir, created by the leading antiviral drug maker, Gilead. The twice-yearly shot nearly eliminated new HIV infections in 2 studies of high-risk people. It'll be an alternative to the daily PrEP pill or another kind of shot given multiple times a year.
I know a lot of people that would sign up for that, as opposed to having to take a drug every day.
Barry Sermons has been living with HIV since 2003. He says the stigma and shame have kept people he's met from getting life-saving help.
The biggest challenge with prevention is, like when I contracted HIV, most people think, well, it's not going to happen to me, or I'm superhero, or I'm invincible. You know, I don't need that. And it's a challenge sometimes to get people to really understand.
We are thrilled to be able to play a role in this continuum of care for HIV prevention.
At Empowerment Resource Center in downtown Atlanta, they say lenacapavir, offering 6 months of protection, is another tool in their arsenal. Plus, highly needed, with Atlanta having the 3rd highest cases of HIV in the nation.
Twice a year? My goodness, it's hard to get people to come in for those 3-month appointments. If we can give you a shot and measure your vitals, that's a game changer for us and for the clients.
It's the revolutionary game changer, Barry says, that will tear down those stigma walls and break through barriers of frequent doctor visits.
Prevention is the key to reducing the virus. And if I can prevent somebody from getting the virus, and then they don't spread it to the next person, and it just keeps going on and on.
The price tag is high. Gilead told CBS News that it's going to cost about $28,000 a year, but they're working to make it more widely available for everyone. They say the challenge is the decreased support in federal HIV programs. U.S. and abroad.
All right, now. So we got HIV. We got an HIV shot twice a year. This is so great. Yes! Stop spreading. All right, let me shut the fuck up. All right. But now they were saying federal programs cut back with HIV prevention. Now, they said this thing is $28,000. Now, I'm trying to find out. They gonna make my baby $28,000 to get this shot. This is kind of weird here. Now. I'm like, wait a minute. Ain't no way they gonna let this shit go down like that. They gotta put this on somebody's insurance. To me, it seems like they'll be giving this to people who got the money. But then again, they got buy now, pay later too. So you might be all right if you can buy now, pay later.
Buy now, pay later.
You know, somebody was telling me about this buy now, pay later. I said, this is crazy they actually would even do this. But then again, I thought about it.
You talking about the medical credit? You talking about the medical?
I'm talking about anything.
Talking about in general. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, buy now, pay now. Yeah. They got all that stuff now, like you said, with the flex pays. Amazon got little flex pays and stuff. The other little. Even Cash App now. Cash App even got a overdraft. You can set up the overdraft where you can overdraft the Cash App, or you can even borrow from Cash App or some shit. Yeah, man. Hey, they all in. Hey, they all in, dog.
They all in. I'm all out. I'm all out. They all in and I'm all out, man. Shit, because I ain't doing this crazy shit. They got to go to fuck this shit, right? I'm all out, brother. They tapping. They making me look stupid. Shit. Yeah. They all in. I'm all right.
Hey, man, look.
HIV makes my ass.
Hey, buy her payment plan is the next thing to slice bread, bro. Hey, 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 man, don't get caught up in the web.
We are
Yep.
back now with a story all new at 11. A Long Island medical facility being sued following the arrest of a former employee accused of putting cameras in the bathrooms.
Investigators say they were hidden inside fake smoke detectors. Our Paisley Chang has the unsettling details.
Stunned and betrayed. That's how Brenda Pelletieri says she felt upon learning her former co-worker Sanjay Sayama Prasad was arrested, accused of secretly recording people in the bathrooms at work.
We were all sick, crying. It was really a scene. We just wanted to know, where did our videos go?
It happened at Northwell Health Sleep Disorder Center and STARS Rehabilitation Center. Nassau police say the 47-year-old used fake smoke detectors embedded with cameras and attached them to the bathroom with Velcro. Brenda was sickened when she saw the Velcro patches all over the bathrooms at work, some on the ceiling directly above the toilets.
I'm so angry about it. It's embarrassing, disgusting.
Brenda is the lead plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against Northwell Health and Sayama Prasad.
We're suing for the negligence of the hospital, the sleep center.
Now, this was discovered in April of last year when another employee caught this defendant watching a video of someone use the bathroom on his computer. That's when police were called, but patients were not notified about the illegal recordings until a year later. Brenda, who was also a patient at one point, received letters from Northwell this May. The letter said Sayama Prasad bought the cameras in August of 2022, but they aren't sure how long he had been recording people. Brenda's attorney believes 13,000 letters were sent.
They've expressed how violated they feel and how afraid they are to use public restrooms, changing rooms.
In a statement, a Northwell Health spokesman said, "We immediately revoked that individual's access to our premises, reported him to the Nassau County District Attorney's Office, and have fully cooperated with the DA's office. Safeguarding the privacy of our patients and employees will always remain a high priority for us." The Nassau DA charged him with 5 counts of
I took control.
Crazy shit, ain't it, Shaq?
Say that again.
Hey, that's crazy, ain't it?
Man, look here. There's so many stigmas, bro. But see, there's so many stigmas, bro. It's getting ridiculous, man. And they're not doing nothing that's really anything really to deter this. You know what I mean? This type of behavior, bro. And it's violating people's privacy, man. You feel me?
I got you. I mean, hey, man. All right, let me play this for you.
Yeah.
This is interesting right here.
Learning what killed a young mother who traveled to Miami for cosmetic surgery and died hours later inside an unlicensed surgical recovery house. Good evening once again. I'm Juwan Strader.
And I'm Jackie Nesprell. NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri obtained records which reveal how that woman died. Amy?
According to the Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office, a combination of a prescription painkiller and a dangerous designer drug in Amonique Miller's system after that surgery led to her death. Her mother told us over the phone she was devastated to learn what killed her daughter.
Amonique Miller and her younger sister Kiara Barnes traveled to Miami in March to get cosmetic surgery together, an adventure that ended in tragedy.
I have to remind myself every day that this is real. She's not calling, and that Amonique is not coming back.
At the time, Amonique's mother, Wakila Miller, told us the sisters both underwent procedures at Avana Plastic Surgery Clinic inside this building on West Flagler Street. And then came here, to this home on Southwest 4th Street, which advertised itself as Kayla's Recovery House. Hours later, according to this Miami police report, Amonique was dead, leaving behind her 1-year-old daughter.
I really want to know, first of all, what happened to my daughter.
NBC6 obtained these records from the medical examiner's office, which show the cause of Amonique's death was acute combined drug toxicity.
They found a mix of the prescription painkiller oxycodone and an unregulated drug called bromazolam killed Amonique. In the ME's report, they describe bromazolam as a potent designer drug commonly found in counterfeit pills or powders.
My daughter's supposed to be here with her daughter, and unfortunately, she's not.
The medical examiner's office report states the use of these drugs in the hours following Amonique's procedure are responsible for the fatal outcome, adding there is no evidence of surgical complications.
From what Kiara is saying, that a muscle relaxer was given, and possibly multiple Percocet.
According to a preliminary police death investigation report provided to the medical examiner, the owner of the recovery house, Kayla Oliver, told investigators she provided Amonique with 2 Percocets and did not have a license to practice medicine. Amonique's sister Kiara also told police Oliver gave Amonique an unknown number of muscle relaxers from Kiara's prescription and 2 Percocets from an unlabeled pill bottle because Amonique's medication was not ready.
As far as we know, her actual prescription was never picked up from the pharmacy.
We reached out to Oliver's attorney, but he declined to comment at this time. Oliver previously told investigators Amonique was only given prescription pills at the recovery house.
I never thought that I would be putting together obituaries for my daughter or my child. She was extremely smart. She was beautiful.
A big loss.
Just a big loss.
And the medical examiner's report goes on to say the combined use of the 2 types of drugs impacts breathing and increases the risk of death during sleep. Amonique's mother did not want to speak on camera this time because of the ongoing investigation, but told us she spends her days trying to figure out how this happened.
Crazy stuff, man. I got to tell you, this is some wild shit. But this is the price of beauty, so it is what it is, right? Shit.
We are back now with a story all new at 11.
Chak, man, it costs to be beautiful, brother.
Why they much?
How much you want to pay, man? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Beauty was the cost that they gave. I had a chick text me a couple weeks ago, man. She said, BJ, I'm 170 pounds. I said, okay, what you trying to do? I said, you trying to work out? She said, no, I want to get a lipo. I'm like, for 170? What? Yeah. I said, well, no, you don't need to do that. Just come work out in the hot summer sun with me. She like, it's too fucking hot to be doing all that. She was like, shit. She said, shoot. I get my hair nailed done. You think I'm gonna be outside in that hot heat? She like, I ain't no damn fool. I said, I told her you be a fool to go in the night with you. To get lipo, we end up with 170 pounds. I said, shit. Really, did you? I don't even think we were getting in at 300. Just stop eating so damn much. But nevertheless, yeah, that's how I go, man. But look. She said, yeah, she want a liposuction shit. What do you think about that shit? Come on, help me out here, man. Beauty is the cost, man. I told her, hey, you probably got a man that still want to talk to you at 170. 300, I didn't say he wouldn't talk, but, but I said 170. Because she said that she was like, it make her feel more confident, when she smaller. Course, that's what she said, right? So but that's how it go, man. So beauty is the cost, man. Hey, look, man, I get it, man. We all want to be beautiful, brother. You know, whether we smile in profile or whatever the case. That's how it is, brother. But we out there, man. But you just gotta live with it, brother. But hey, man, be yourself, brother. Don't let anybody else tell you different. I'm just talking shit. Okay. It's a good day, man. It's called Juneteenth. No, fuck with you. Hey, look, man. Here we go, man. Study finds high PFA level in North Georgia residents' blood.
Exposed to cancer-causing chemicals. That is the result of a new study released by Emory University after testing nearly 200 residents' blood.
And now the university taking action in direct response to an Atlanta News First investigation by our own Andy Parati. Andy.
Hey guys, state regulators discovered elevated levels of a cancer-causing toxin known as PFAS in their drinking water in Rome, Georgia about 10 years ago. In 2023, we wanted to answer a simple question. How did the chemicals impact residents? Tonight, we finally have answers.
Dear Alvin Jackson, thank you for participating in the Emory University North Georgia PFAS study.
It's a letter of gratitude from Emory University, but Alvin Jackson wishes it was addressed to someone else.
If you're concerned about your results, please contact your healthcare provider because, you know, it scares me to death.
It's blood test results, part of a chemical exposure study Alvin took part in this past February, testing 177 residents for PFAS who live in Rome and Calhoun, Georgia, a toxin linked to numerous illnesses, including cancer. Alvin's results among the highest of all the participants. 2 nanograms per milliliter and below are considered safe. Alvin's blood, 141. How does it make you feel that you have these chemicals in your blood right now?
It makes me feel mighty bad. I wish it had been discovered sooner. Does it make my life shorter? Does it make me vulnerable to disease?
Alvin isn't the only one with elevated levels. Emory's study released this month revealed nearly a quarter of all participants with PFAS levels so high, the National Academies of Scientists suggest getting additional medical evaluations, testing for cancer, hypertension, and thyroid disease. 76% of the participants with levels that could harm sensitive groups like children and pregnant women.
I mean, they know that they have a chemical in their body they can't get rid of, and that's problematic.
Dr. Dana Barr and Melanie Pearson are the Emory scientists who led this study. If you were a city leader or a state leader looking at these results in these two communities, would you be concerned?
I would look for ways to try and reduce the exposure in these communities. Definitely.
We're ready. Sarah Malone donated her blood for the study too. The Rome resident is a breast cancer survivor. Her PFAS levels also among the highest of the participants. Are you now wondering whether PFAS had something to do with your cancer?
Most definitely so. Most definitely so. But this is really
Now, remember, I just told you this yesterday, Shaq, or the other day, that they want you to donate your blood, specifically so-called African Americans. But maybe that's where they got this study from. They said 200 people, which is a small sample size, but whatever the fuck. It what it is.
What now?
They said they got high PFAS levels in North Georgia residents' blood.
What's PFAS?
Let's get the technical term for it, okay?
Is that come from the toxic plastics that people? Or that come from those toxic plastics? What?
Let's see. PFAS. Hold on a minute. PFAS are chemicals.
Right.
They're found in food packaging, cookware, water-resistant fabrics, cleaning products, personal care products, shampoo, dental floss, firefighting. Yep.
Plastics, yeah. So there's the toxic plastics that we're like drinking out the water, those toxic water bottles. Plastics in these clothes and stuff. Like we talk about that plastic stuff, man. Forever chemicals. A lot of, like you said, the cookware, Tupperware, those plastic Tupperware, rubber Tupperware. Well, it ain't rubber, but plastic Tupperware. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, like you said, plastic forks and stuff. Like we're eating this stuff, we're using this stuff in our bodies. We heating it up in the microwaves. You know what I'm saying? Even like you say, the cookware, like the different pots and pans. That material, some of that material stuff, bro. That stuff they got studies on that. How that material, that stuff is they get in your body, and that's like I said, it's causing, like you said, kidney problems. It's causing problems with the prostate, urinary problems. It's causing a lot of shit. Like you said, breast cancer. Because they, number one, the toxic plastic, we know what it is. It's a hormone blockers. You know what I'm saying? So that alone will build up cancerous cells. You know what I mean? Forever chemicals, yeah. Forever chemicals, yeah. Yeah. Toxic plastics, and people don't even know that you using it. And these water bottles and stuff that people use, and underwear, the different, like you said, material that you put directly on your skin. It's made out of the toxic plastic. Yeah. Yep.
Got a point.
PVC pipes. What you think PVC pipes is, bro? Now, how many places got PVC pipes running through them? That's a toxic. That's a toxic plastic, bro. You feel me? Yeah, man. Compared to our people knew what they was doing back in the day when they had copper pipes and shit. You know what I mean? And these people came, man. They changed. You know, as the time went by, they, you know what I mean? Allegedly wanted to go the cheap route, so they found other ways to mass produce these same products and using, like you said, soy. I mean, that's a major problem too. Soy. They overuse soy. You talked about that radium. Did you ever pull up radium?
Yeah, I pulled it up last time we was on. Remember we did?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's a combination of things that's ongoing, and the reason why we at this level now, right? From just the 19th century to just now, 100 years, just 100, well, like 120 some years, from like 19, what, like 18 what, 1890 to now. So many people, like you said, they got these numbers out, and we keep coming out with how much melanated black people. Oh, I want to say Hispanic and black and brown people. Why is our numbers so high? And all this cancerous diseases and shit, right? Why is our numbers high, or three times higher than our, they say, your white counterpart? Why? We've been targeted, man. We've been targeted, bro. Our DNA, you know, and yeah, you talk about gold. Didn't we talk about this other day about gold, oil, and drugs?
Yep. Gold, oil, and diamonds. Yep.
But that blood, we know blood is a golden. There's some golden blood out here, obviously. Huh? First of all, if we go back far enough, and this is even in some of their journals and shit, you know, and they document when they first was coming over and, you know, they exploring what they call the explorers and stuff. And they were looking at some of the indigenous cultures and stuff, how they was using different plants and stuff to heal, herbs and stuff to heal and stuff, right? Even, like you said, inoculation. They was inoculating their own people, bro. Right? So they took all those creations and inventions and they flipped them.
Right.
So if you know what I mean?
Yep.
Inoculation, that's another form of blood transfusion. They took that, you know what I mean, and flipped it. And they turned it, and that shit, they made everything that was natural, they made it into, like you said, obviously now, we know now, former chemical based. Right? Chemical / drug based. So yeah, this you said these PFAs. Yeah, man. So you I don't care how much you work out, I don't care how much you tell yourself eating healthy eating or vegan, I'm plant-based and vegan, bro. If you still eating using plastic utensils, which we all do, I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You eat out foods with the plastic containers and shit that they bring the food in, and when they heat up, that stuff is still getting your body. Your body is still absorbing that, consuming it, blocking, beta blocking. Because things like that, hormone and beta blockers. You know what I mean? Endocrine disruptors. And we know that processed sugar and salt is the number one culprit of hormone and beta, endocrine disruptor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar in the pancreas is what? I mean, sugar in the eyes is what? Glaucoma, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Sugar in the brain is what? Dementia.
Diabetes, right? Or dementia.
Yeah, it's diabetes. It's diabetes in the brain. Yeah, it's diabetes in the brain. It's dementia. Alzheimer's, dementia. Yep. You know what I mean? So this is your body's getting riddled with endocrine disruptors. You know what I mean? Riddled with endocrine disruptors, dog. You know? This process,
right?
It ain't just because we could process our own stuff. It's just how you process it. If you're using something like you said, saturated, what they consider saturated fats and all this, you know what I mean? The body cannot. Our bodies, man, we are different beings. I don't know why people keep playing and they trying to make a universal pill. Don't work like that, bro. A universal shot, a universal healthcare. What does that mean? Everybody's not the same, and they try to make everybody the same because they giving you the same symptoms. Uh-oh, you hear what I just said? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You need to rewind that?
All right. No. Look, I'm going to play this for you.
September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. The disease is inherited blood disorder in Black people that can cause a number of other health issues. Our Ken McCoy has more on how blood donations by Black people can help those living with the disease.
Sickle cell disease distorts soft, round blood cells and turns them hard and crescent shaped, which can cause severe pain. Seasonal changes can trigger pain crises for those battling with sickle cell, possibly increasing the need for life-saving blood transfusions.
For the sickle cell patient, they have multiple transfusions. So it becomes even more important that blood is matched down to even deeper levels than just blood type down. And the best way for us to get that match is to go to a donor who matches them as closely as possible.
However, because most individuals who are Black have unique structures on their red blood cells, they are often not found in other donor populations. During Sickle Cell Awareness Month, the American Red Cross has launched Joined by Blood, a fall-focused component of the Sickle Cell Initiative, to help improve the health outcomes of those with sickle cell disease through impactful community-based partnerships. And Chris says this need is important.
1 in 3 African American donors have the potential to be a match for someone with sickle cell. And what that match means is that they're going to be able to go in and provide that pain relief, that life-altering treatment for someone who has this disease.
The Huntsville Blood Donor Center is accepting donors through the month of September with a cookout with local organizations on September 29th.
Hold on, fucker. Why they got to give a cookout for this shit, man? Hold the fuck up, bro. What the fuck is that about? Why they had to do a cookout for that, man? Yeah. It is kind of wild. Never mind. But damn, Shaq, get a cookout with sickle cell. Damn, I'm through. Well, Shaq, let me tell you somebody who has sickle cell trait. You see that picture right there? You see that?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
That's my mom right there.
Uh-huh.
July 14, 1957, April 4th, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody they said sickle cell. They left me at 7 years and 2 months and 15 days. So she's been gone since 2018. It actually threw me for a heavy loop, but at the same time, sometimes these days I'm kind of like, you know what? It ain't no need to go through all this shit. So you know what? Thank you, Mom, for keeping me alive. And I'm living through you these days. So thank you for that.
That's amazing, bro. I mean, so with that,
but that
I mean,
somebody
so
who has, that I know personally. So there you go. Oh,
right, so let me ask you. Let me ask you. Because I don't know, by that time you have a lot of research on that, but from my understanding that a lot of those sickle cell traits, it comes from a certain DNA strain, right? From an ancestor or some shit. Did they ever?
Well,
anybody else in the family?
No, but I'm gonna tell you something. On that death certificate, they ain't say nothing about no sickle cell trait. It says she had diabetes, which my mom ain't never had. Was known to have diabetes day in life. She ain't never tell me them no diabetes. Yo. So I don't know what the fuck was on that death certificate. Yo.
Stay right there. Stay right there. I'm glad you said that. Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not a medical professional. I never went to no medical institution. I'm a realist. And I call myself an independent researcher, studier, philosopher, right? Analyst, right? I've been saying this, Bernard, ever since I've been studying, because I had diabetes, you know what I'm saying? Diagnosed in 2003, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying this, that there's more, they're not telling us all the types of diabetes, right? They only give you the major two, type 1, type 2. Often, so-called research that they have. Oh, we have limited research, we don't know this, know that. Cool, fine. Over the time, I've been studying, and like I said, you can Google this right now. I learned that's a type 3. Type 3, they consider dementia, they consider that type 3. Now, they got this in their medical journal. Now, they ain't gonna tell everybody this, but if you know what I'm saying, you talk to some real people that's really medical nurses and stuff, needle nurses and stuff, they really read the medical journals, the real research that they have. They don't necessarily just go off of the propaganda, the commercialized. You know what I mean? They read the real research that really was, the notes and stuff that really was taken, and documented notes. Right? So, like I've been saying that there's more types of diabetes. With this word diabetes, what they call it. They can call it whatever they want to call it, right? But I keep saying, sometimes we got to get off the word because they use words for different reasons and meanings. But the actions stay the same. So if you follow the actions, rather than just looking at the word and saying, well, damn, if you follow the actions, what did it say diabetes claim is? Look up to see what is that the medical word of medical description of diabetes? Because that really is not no really term for diabetes.
Also, insulin resistance.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this: what's the difference between diabetes / insulin resistance or a forgot the name. Mylosis or some shit. What's the difference between that and sickle cell? For the symptoms.
When they claim when you have sickle cell, your blood is like a sickle, but sickle cell, you get a lot of illnesses. Like and I always wondered sometimes, once a year I'm gonna be kind of sick of something like that or has
But
something.
that's what I'm saying, Bernard. The similarities of so-called diabetes or insulin resistance is the same as sickle cell. So you feel me?
The hospital twice, matter of fact, in like a 10-year
Huh?
period. When the hospital one time she was in the coma for like 10 days or something. Matter of fact, I remember went to the hospital one time. It was like on late at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and they told me, "You can't come in here. You got to be on some visitor list." I said, "I ain't got to be on no goddamn list. That's my mom. You gonna let me in this door?" So they got a nurse to come to me or something like that. I said, "Look, I'm the son. No, you ain't gonna stop nothing." And she was like, "Yeah, technically."
Yeah, but see, that's what they do in these institutions, bro.
Let you in because we don't want to cause no problem. I said, "Yeah, you're gonna let me in because that's my mom. And you ain't gonna stop me."
But see, that's a major problem that we all need to fight for, bro. When our family members go in these institutions, bro, these people literally be holding these people, letting our people hostage, bro. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's some of the protocols they got going on, bro. Like, why would my family member be here with strange people, and they got family members outside or family members that they can call, especially when somebody's like that in that particular state, pregnant. That always should be a family member. Huh?
The second time she got sick, she had to go to a rehab center. And actually, to tell you the truth, she would call my aunt, and them aunt got sick too. So then she really all back. But she would call my aunts and stuff and tell them to come by the rehab center because she didn't like the food they would give her. She wanted other stuff. She didn't like the food they would give her in the rehab center. Not too far from here. So I went up there a couple times. They were having to retrain her how to walk and stuff. But during that time, she was sick so long, she had lost her insurance benefits. So after 6 months, her job, which she had been working on for 30 years, actually dropped her. And insurance, she had to reapply, but she couldn't reapply for the same position. She had to reapply for like a kitchen or dairy or some shit like that. And she was totally tapped out by then. And then she had some motor skill problems, and then it was all down here from there. So in reality, you could tell that I'm not gonna say the end was near, but she was just getting depressed. And then she, according to my cousin, she said she wanted to take her. She just sometimes just didn't understand why she here no more. And then in April of 2018, I got a call by 9:30 at night from my uncle. He said that she dead. He said he found her on the floor of the house dead. Laid out, and they couldn't revive her or something like that next day. And I said, damn, my grandma in 2002, they say died of hemorrhage to the brain. And I think she had some hemorrhage in this. So that's the way it goes.
She was on medication and stuff, I'm pretty sure, right?
My grandma was, but I don't think she was, because even if she was, I don't even think she was even taking it. I don't even think she was even taking it, bro. I told you, she had been talking about the last 2 weeks of her life that she was seeing people come through walls and all types of stuff like that. So, yeah.
But see but get back to the sickle cell. Like I said, I'm saying the similarities, right? What we consider diabetes and shit really is toxic blood. I'm saying sickle cell can be considered toxic blood. Diabetes, toxic blood, right? Need to be clean. Blood need to be filtered and clean. You know what I'm saying? Because diabetes is sugar, what they consider sugar in the blood, in your blood system. Slow down and get real sluggish, and that causes you not to get enough oxygen and nutrients and minerals and shit to the other organs and skin and stuff. That's why your skin started corrode, die. That's why people with diabetes and stuff like that, they skin it messes with your oxygen, right? It messes with your kidney, because your skin started. If you're not getting enough oxygen and nutrients in those areas, they start to the skin areas start to die, corrode.
Now look, in honor of this, I'm gonna pull this off because I got it. I got to make a run, but I want to share with you something. You were talking about blood, right? Now the blood transfusion. They were talking about people donating blood and stuff, right? That's what they were saying, right? The cost of blood transfusion in the U.S. can range from a few hundred to several $1,000 depending on factors. Where the cost of a unit of red blood cells to a hospital blood bank can be $200. The financial charge of the patient can be higher, potentially reaching $2,000 or more for the transfusion procedure. So, and then you got your different blood type components, RBC, platelets, plasma. They all got different costs, right? Then you got blood. So they're saying that, you can have a transfusion $5,000. So the question should be is, what is the blood bank cost? How much is this industry worth? Because industry cost. And that's going to tell us what we need to know here, because
I go farther than that. Yeah, pull that up. But I go farther than that. Are they paying the donors? People that
Chak, check this out. Me and you get some money, right?
Who?
If me and you put some money together, we could start a blood bank industry cost. They say you can start at $10,000 to $30,000 to start your own blood bank. $100,000 to $250,000. Excuse me. But you may incur expenses of $20,000 to $50,000, ensuring that the center meets all legal requirements and maintains operational excellence. Okay. Then you can put $10,000 to $30,000 for community engagement and donor management system promotion. So you got to do a lot of promotion for this thing to even get a blood bank center.
Well, yeah, and it's more to go into it because, like I said, you got to go through different regulations because you got, for us equipment and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Get the equipment and stuff, licensing and stuff like that to be able to, bring people in and, So my thing is they calling it donation, blood bank. So the people that donate blood don't get no proceeds from these damn their blood that they donate. But the blood banks and whoever else, the third parties or the investors or the however that chain of command go, they're making billions, bro, off people donating their blood. Now you telling me I'm donating, but you making money off the shit that I'm donating. How does that work?
You're right. So what I'm saying is we all have to, in closing, what I'm gonna say is we all have to make sure our blood is right. Try to make sure it's right at best, because if we don't, the stuff that happened to her, grandma, so forth, even yourself, and even anybody else, because let's be real, even when you breathe in bad air, that can affect you.
There you go.
Yeah, so we all got to make sure that our blood is as pure as possible, because that is your lifeline. And I mean, I would say stop going to these plasma centers and all that, but I mean, because think about it, they paying you $25 to $50 to donate your plasma. How much they making? They got a plasma center now in this place in Southside where I got to go past today. I got to get some air put in one of my tires, but I got to go there. I go past there. Well, guess what? They got a lot of businesses closed, $50 closed. They had a Chak hasn't played closed. And they made some new business at a 24-hour vape shop. But one business has stayed around there after all these years, for the last 15 years, is that plasma center. That ain't never left. That plasma center been there for a long time. It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
With the laundry right behind it. But the plasma center's still there. So let's put it this way. They know where to put these plasma centers at in so-called black and brown communities. See what I mean?
For sure. I mean, you're right. Plasma center, you're right. Like you said, man, go back to the blood. People are donating blood, but they ain't making no money off donation. We know we live in a highly corporatized, capitalized, society now, where everything is to be sold, bought and sold. So why are they telling you to donate and they making money off the shit that you donate? I'm back to that. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to get a percentage off that, off the because you making other people pay for a donation. So if we was to donate, then we donate. It's free, right? Then why somebody else got to pay for some stuff to some people that donate? They gave it up for free. Now you got to go. Now you got. But then they flip that. These people is criminals, man. They're making it. And they're making, man. Damn.
Nah, fuck you. You just give us the blood, man. That's all you gotta do. Give us the
Yeah,
blood.
give us the blood. Oh, you're doing a good deed. You're doing a good deed. It's your duty. You know what I'm saying? It's your duty. Same thing we talked about the jury duty. Oh, it's your duty. Oh, you should want to be on jury duty. Yeah, okay, cool. That's if, if I'm in that situation, everybody in that situation where, like we just said, could take off 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, however long this trial going on, to be able, like you said, to be compensated. And the gratification of you allegedly doing your civil duty is the only thing you left with. Man, get the hell out of here, bro. Get the hell out of here. You can't sell me they goddamn fall for that dream. You want to learn. I'm just saying, bro.
Hey,
like
man,
the manipulation is
called the American dream, brother. Either love
yeah.
it or leave. But but look, let me get out here and get some air, put in this tire. Got a couple things to do. But I will say this. Hey, man, relax, man. And keep your blood pure. Because if you don't, somebody, they like vultures, Shaq. They love to blood suck you.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, look, man, what's in those veins? The gift of life. And guess what? We want to suck everything out of you. So you've been through some bad stuff in your life with, health issues, but shout out information and how people can try to at least get healthy.
Oh, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, man. You can tap in to Shaq Waller on Instagram, CHAQWEILER. All one letter, all one word, lowercase. You can also tap in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe, give me some more subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Like and share it. Share the platform. You can tap in on Facebook, Shaq Helps on Facebook. Man, my thing is, like I said, at this point in life, Bernard, one of my mottos is all hands on deck. So you gotta use the resources that you got that's around your community. Starting from your community on up to your city, state, because there's a lot of resources that's out there that a lot of people just don't take advantage of for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Pride, ego, lack of information. You know what I mean? But with the internet, and it's one thing we should be using, a lot of people is using the Chat GPTs and the Google searches and all this stuff, these search engines. You can look anything up and get the answer, or get your questions semi answered. You know what I'm saying? It can put you in the ballpark for anything that you're looking for. So I encourage anybody to look up services that's in your community, that's in your city, your zip code, your county, because it's a lot of programs that are funded from the state level. The federal government also assists with the funding of some of these programs, agencies and stuff that a lot of people just don't take advantage of. And they end up losing the funding because they don't have the participants sometimes. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. When it comes to your water, you can try to get it, like I said, different filters and stuff.
Oh, by the way,
Try
I'm
to
about
put
to
on your
leave.
faucet.
I gotta send you the picture of this big 40-pound watermelon.
Oh, the snake. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still got the watermelon? You ain't eating it, huh?
I tell you, the thing's so big. I called somebody today, man. I said, hey, look, man, we got to break bread on this thing. Ain't no way I can eat this damn 40-pound thing by myself. I told him we got to break
Well, I'm glad you brought a watermelon. This is summer season. This is summer months, the hot months, tropical months. Get into all your melons, watermelons, right? Watermelons, any
watermelons and mangoes, baby. Watermelons.
There you go. Let me see what you got. That's what I got. I just had to make me a blueberry. I made me a blueberry and mango smoothie yesterday. What you got? Let me see. That's I can't hardly see. Let me see. My vision kind of jacked up. That's the million right there. Let's see. Yeah, but like I said, watermelons, mangoes, oranges, any little citrus fruit, lemons, limes, key limes, Shit. Any of the fruit, you know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of water, heavy water content. The melons, any melons, you know what I mean? Hydrate yourself. You get more hydration out of your fruit and vegetables than just regular water because a lot of the waters that we buy, store-bought water, they don't have minerals in it. They have no minerals or nutrients in it. It's just stripped. So it's like what they consider in the natural, in the natural, the natural communities, people that's trying to get back to nature communities, they talk about dead water, consuming dead water. You drink a lot of the dead water you drink, which is water with no minerals in it, no electrolytes in it too. It also strips you from electrolytes because water is a natural detoxifier. It is a natural cleanser. So if it don't have electrolytes or minerals in it, guess what? It's going to strip you of yours. It's going to rob you of, especially you drinking a lot of water, flushing yourself with a lot of water. It's flushing out. So it's pulling everything that you got in yourself out too. Keep that in mind. Over drinking a lot of just regular water, regular non-active water, it's going to strip you. It could strip you of your electrolytes. It could strip you of some of your minerals too. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean?
Well,
In summertime.
But let me say this in closing. I'm gonna just say this in closing. Why? Look. So pay attention to what he said because, like I said, usually, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, I tell my sister, I said about I don't even use mention my mom because really tell you the truth, since she's been gone for 7 years, for the most part, I kind of like, people. Let's be honest. I mean, hey, look, that was a tough time. Not something I really talk about. Look, I tell people, I don't even look. The cemetery right there on Hopkins Road in Richmond. I don't even go there, man. I don't even go there, none of that shit. I just let it be. I mean, I might talk somebody ask me about April 4th, how you doing? July 14th. For the most part, I go through the year unabated. I don't even talk about it. The only reason I might talk about it, somebody bring up some health issues, sickle cell, something like that, because really, to tell you the truth, I mean, but after last week, finding out my homeboy died, that was also like a release valve for me where I just say, hey, man, I'm going to the barbershop, I'm going to sit and talk to my guy. I found out he done died in April this year. You know what? I really don't particularly care for bringing up people, that's passed too much because then you got to go relive it. But then I had to think about it. Hey, man, let me call some people around here and make sure, they I just make sure because that thing kind of threw me for a loop. Now, usually I ain't gonna pull over the side of the road and think. But actually, that day when I found that out, I sat in the road and just said, yo, what the hell, right? But, because I don't even have you on the phone talking. My homeboy was going there and sitting there. I said, guys, barbershop. And he really did a great job of mentoring me, other guys. He would watch videos or he would say, hey, man, I thought you were going to jail a long time ago, man. You surprised me. He's smarter. He like, you even smarter than what I thought because he like, you used to do a lot of dumb shit. But I always told him that, hey, man, you've been cutting my hair since 3 and thanks for always calling and check on me. So it was weird. I hadn't heard from him 2 months. And I went by the shop and I didn't think, but that day I just presented thing that sometime I wish I would have, that first time when he wasn't there at 7 o'clock in the morning, I called for one. I didn't realize he wasn't there at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I said, you know what? I got to call. And I found out he was dead. I wish I could have went to the funeral. But some things you just so routinely go by a place that you don't, this ain't even the person I just call. I just go over there. So you routinely go, and then that was like a big time. He actually even looked out for my mom or gave my mom money for me to do something in school one time. So now I had to relive that. And then I had to say, you know what? My mom died unexpectedly the same way. So you have to, when these things happen, you always got to say, damn, I really had a good circle around me. And that junk is getting like, it's closing. But nevertheless, just take your time. And hey, man, sometimes you just have to sit back and think. Because I said, damn. I thought with that camp last weekend, shout out to the guys at the camp. because they make a big boost. Because I don't get down, but sometimes I say, yo, what the hell is going on? So remember, we all under attack, bodily and chemically and physically. So just keep in mind that, and I'm about to go down and say, see a picture of this watermelon. I'll give you a holler.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Luke.
Yes, sir.